This is the video solution of exam 7, Advanced Data Analysis. Okay, first of all, I will connect. Here, since my desktop is a mess, I have prepared a special directory here, which we simulate being my desktop. Okay, first of all, I will open any directory, for example, computer, and I will go to / ubz01fst. Since I'm not at university right now, I must add unibz.it. Okay, here courses, exam Coletti. You find a long list of names, you open yours, take all the files, in this case just one file, and copy them here. Okay. Now let's start. First, MySQL exercise, so I open HeidiSQL. U on alco inf unibz.it. I type my and I'm inside. Now I must use students and exam free. Where is it? Okay, which one is this and which one is this? Okay, must enlarge a little bit. Okay, this one. Okay, now I don't need it anymore. Okay. Okay. Build a query which displays the professor and semester per semester, and semester per semester is underlined, the sum of the credits of the courses they are teaching. Okay, so select. I need the first name and last name of the professor, so from table professors, first name and last name. And semester, so from table exams, semester, oops, comma. And then I need to sum the credits, so sum of, well, I can type it myself, credits from, it's not mandatory to write keywords capital, but I do it for being more comprehensible. Now, from professors, I have to join it with who teaches what on, okay, on professors dot its tax code equal, let's go to a new line, to who teaches what dot exam, no course. It's not mandatory to specify the name of the table unless the name of the field is ambiguous. Usually field names such as ID are ambiguous. Field names such as course usually not. Then again in join exams on who teaches what dot course equal to exams dot id. And I've committed a mistake here. Professor stack code must be joined on with who teaches what professor. Okay, let's leave it like this to see what happens. In any case here, group by professor. I have to group by professor, so I will group by professor's tax code, for example. Okay, comma, because I have to group also semester by semester, exam semester. Okay, I think we have everything, but there is a mistake in the middle, I remind you. Okay, empty, even though the query is perfect, so no error. Usually when the number of rows is strongly different, too many or especially too little, there is a joining mistake, so the joining mistake is here. Okay, 21 rows and I teach 15 credits in the second semester. Okay, perfect. Now let's save it because it's a good idea. Save as. I go to my desktop. I go to my simulated desktop here. Students. Okay. Now, duplicate the structure of table professors as professors use surname. You do not need to duplicate the data. While you are creating it, or after having created it if you prefer, add a constraint, and a field. Okay. So, professors, I steal the creation code from here. It's silly to recreate it manually. Copy. Paste. Okay, professors Colletti. And I do require modification directly here. First of all, the field, which is very easy. I even steal the entire row. Or let's steal the row containing birth date, which is very similar. Hire date. Date time. Well, null default null. Honestly, somebody hired should not have a hire date null, but you can leave it like this. I didn't ask anything. If you prefer, you can put not null and default nothing. Okay, then the two constraints. Don't forget the comma here, this comma here, because you are adding other things. Check. So first of all, tax code has exactly 16 characters. There are 3 ways to do it. The first way is this one. Well, I can take it from here. Tax code like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Comma. Second way, okay, this is the way we have learned. Second way, it's a little faster, and it's this one. I will write it here below. Check length tax code equals 16. Well, you don't know. We have not done function length, so you were not forced to know this one. But the first one we have done like so. The last way is much simpler. Instead of varchar here, varchar 16, you choose char 16. And this automatically restricts to 16. Okay, however, let's leave the one we have studied, this one. The second one is check date diff between current date and birth date. Okay, divided by 365.25. This one must be larger or equal to 18. Or alternatively, the date diff must be larger or equal to 18 by 365. Okay. Let's hope the order is correct. If you don't remember, just select date diff, press F1, you get help. And help hopefully tells you in which order are the dates. So 3112, 3012, 1. So the youngest, let's say the most recent before. Okay. Okay, everything done. Let's see. Run selection. Created. If you want to see it, refresh. Where is the refresh? Okay. Very well. Save. Okay. And now build a query which counts how many exams have been passed with laude at least once. Pay attention because this is rather tricky. You can be tempted to write something like this. Select. Okay. From who passes what. If you want, you can join with exams, but you have all the information you need in who passes what. So select. Count. Exam ID, for example, from exams where laude equal 1. Okay, you can be tempted to write something like this. What is the result? Oops. Sorry, not exams, but who passes what? Thirteen, but 13 is wrong, because in this case, if an exam has been passed by 2 people, both with laude, this counts 2 times. You must, in this case, distinct. It's one of the rare cases in which distinct matters. Oops. No, sorry. You don't have to count distinct ID, you have to count distinct exam. Okay, 9. Because 9 exams have been passed at least once with laude. Of these 9 exams, it's evidently 4 exams have been passed 2 times with laude. Okay. So if you want to understand the difference here, you just look at which exams have been passed with laude. So exam 10 has been passed 2 times with laude. If you don't put distinct, exam 10 will count 2 times. Put in distinct, exam 10 counts only 1 time. Okay, it's over. Save. Okay, have done. I may close and disconnect. Cancel. Okay. Make sure to have students.sql. If you want to check what it contains, you can open it, but with Notepad, please. Okay. And now R dot package R commander. I set my working directory. Yeah. Okay. Well, it is not necessary for the exam. I have to load workspace exam.rdata. Please do it. Don't forget to do it, because otherwise you have to load it from the graphical interface here. Okay. Just to give a look at which variables are inside. First, GDP and SumUp2. Okay, vector first contains 100 random numbers. Well, let's take a look at it. It's not necessary, but... Okay. With an R command, not manually, double all the elements except the ones in position from 30 to 50. So there are various ways to do it, some slow and some fast. The best one is honestly the elements. Okay. Excluding the ones from 30 to 50, the ones in position, must become the elements, excluding the ones from 30 to 50, by 2. Okay, okay, this is the trick. If you forget this one, you will override things in a horrible way. Okay, if you forget this one, same thing. Okay, there are other alternatives. If you don't want to do something like this, you can move all the elements from the first one to 29th and then from the 51 to the 100th. Okay, in any case, I submit now. Okay. Replace elements from position 7 to 90 with a sequence from 200 to 210 and from 231 to 240. So, first, from position 70 to position 90, have to replace them with a sequence from 200 to 210, 231 to 240. Op. Let's see the result. Okay, 140 minus 896. You can see that the beginning is the same, also the end is the same. We pick up, for example, here we have a 20, 40, 30, this 87 10 55. Do we have this 87 10 55 somewhere? No, so it's wrong. Here 87 10 55 63 minus 78, so it seems correct. Okay. Load package car into dataset high. Load from package car dataset highway 1. A dataset that you should know because there was a similar an exam with it. Okay. By the way, I save at least a script which is honestly the most important for the exam. Exam.r. Okay. Build a pie chart for variable HWY using color blue, white, red, and black. You can either change the palette and then build the pie chart using as color vector 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Or you can directly from here build a pie chart. It's not the color that we want, but here you delete 1, 2, 3 parentheses, so 1, 2, 3 parentheses. So color equal C. Let's see whether it works. Blue, white, red. Usually R is able to interpret the name of the colors. Let's see. Submit. Okay, wonderful. Okay. Alternatively, if you change the palette, you can write 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Build inside dataset variable slim2, which is slim converted into an ordered vector using as labels the values themselves. So, well, I used the, where is it? Convert numeric variables to vector. Slim. I have supply level name, slim2, to supply level names, because use numbers will write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, and my level names are the same, so. Okay. Well, it's not completely done. Well, you can modify it from here, ordered, and pay attention to close the parentheses in the right way. Alternatively, you write here below highway 1 $slim2 equal ordered highway 1 $slim2. Submit again. Okay. I save. As you can see, I save rather often. So don't complain at exam if your computer crashes and you have not saved. So let's see it. In particular, it's a good idea with R to save before doing any graphical operation, such as clicking here. This is a graphical operation. Okay, you can see slim2. Apparently, it's identical to slim, but it's an ordered vector, and if you don't believe, you can str highway 1 $slim2. Ask for its structure, ordered vector with 7 levels. Okay. Export dataset highway1 to text file highway1.txt with semicolon as column separator without quotation with headers in the first row. So data, where is the export? Variable name, row name. Well, I don't care about row names. I didn't tell you anything, but I dislike them. Quotes around character value, no. Other, semicolon. Okay. Highway1.txt already. Okay. If you want to check that it's really exported, it's here. This is the file. Vector GDP contains data from 2000 to 2014 with value blah 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 in first position referred to year 2000 and value blah blah in last position referred to year 2014. Build GDP forward, which is GDP lagged by 3 years, in such a way that value 161350 correspond to year 2011. Build GDP backwards, which is blah blah blah. So, GDP forward. Okay, so forward lagged by 3 years in such a way that 16150 correspond to year 2011. So there are two ways to lag it. So first of all, let me print GDP just to have an idea of it. Okay, this is GDP. GDP forward. GDP -1. This is one of the two possible ways. Okay. Let's see whether this one is correct. So this is year 2000. This is 2011. Okay, it's correct. If it is not correct, you just use the other method. In fact, you have to use the other method for GDP back. GDP back. So you have to push 3, not a variable at the beginning. Okay, and in this case, first let me see. This is 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2011, 12, 13, 14, okay, 15, 16, 17, but okay. Print a little table displaying the values of GDP side by side with the value of GDP4 and GDP back. Okay. We have done this 3000 times. Okay, you can do it even better in this way. No, sorry. 1 to length GDP. Print. Okay, create a little table. So I push one in this direction and one in this direction. Now, I save. Build function C2F, which converts Celsius degrees to Fahrenheit degrees using formula blah blah blah. Well, oh, I know that many of you are tempted to write something like this, but it's wrong, because it converts Celsius to Fahrenheit, so it receives Celsius degrees, and it gives back Fahrenheit degrees, so something like this. Well, it's pretty straight. You can make it longer if you want, but honestly, I don't see any reason why writing directly finish. So you can make f equal return f, but this is enough. Let's test with 100, which 212. Finally, suppose there is an exercise which is very similar to one I gave in the previous exam, but in this exercise, if you read carefully, you must return a vector with entire series from index 1 to index t. So you have to give me back the entire series. So function is give series, receives as input a starting value and an integer number t, and calculates the entire series. So p of 1 is equal to s, and then for t in 2 to t to big T, p of t is equal to, let's see the formula, p of t minus 1 plus 2 to the power of t. Okay, now I have to return what? Not t, not p of t, but the entire sequence, so p. Okay, let's see whether it's correct. Apparently it's correct. I will try, however, give series. I try with s equal to 3 and t equal to 5. So I will get the first 5 elements of the series. It gives me an error. Object P not found. If you have some experience with mandatory exercises, you have discovered that whenever you build a vector automatically using a for loop, like in this case, okay, you must first put something inside the vector, so you cannot start immediately with this thing here. So you must either write, for example, p equal to 0. It seems strange, so you are putting a value of 0 into p as if it were a standard variable, and then you're starting to assign values to its element. But even better, you can say, well, p it's an empty vector, it is the symbol for the empty vector, and then you start to fill it up. Okay. This is a minor mistake. I will consider this as a minor mistake, missing this one. The function doesn't work, but I will consider it as a minor mistake. But if you've done the mandatory exercises, you have discovered it. Okay, now you can see the first 5 elements of the series. Save. Save script as exam.update. Yes. And I have to save also the workspace. Exam.rdate. I will overwrite the previous one. Now exam is over. I close everything. Okay. These are the files that I must give back. I have kept my directory open. I will drag them here. It will ask me whether I want to overwrite exam.rdata, and I say yes. Okay. Make sure that you are overwrite. Windows 8 has a better interface because it tells you exactly from where to where are you writing. This one simply you have to invent. Okay, I will take this one. Okay, done.